My wonderful, beautiful, amazing Libras. I'm Gabriella from Gabriella's Vampire Tarot. For today, I'm going to be doing a general reading of past, present, future, 9 card spread. I'm going to be using the regular tarot deck, clarify with the vampire deck, draw a special vampire card, draw a vampire oracle, then draw 3 yes or no answers for thee. So let's get started on your reading. Okay. The general card is Temperance. You can have Sagittarius somewhere in your star chart. Let's look at the first row, which is also your past. You start off with 2 of Wands reversed, 5 of Swords reversed, and 8 of Pentacles reversed. Okay. Yeah, what I kind of saw was there was a bit of a challenge and a setback that's happening in your past, my beloved Libra, man, woman, whoever I'm referring to. Because what I kind of saw here is, it's like with the 2 of Wands, it's kind of like, no outlook, but it's also not feeling incredibly prepared about something, and it caused you to lose some kind of battle, and it pretty much also caused you to, not want to keep, improving or work towards your desired goal or result, whatever it was in the past. I understand that completely, and I know how much, how frustrating and painful like any kind of setbacks are for that matter. But the most important thing, of course, to each their own. I'm never going to tell anybody what to do, but it's always good, depending on how much you really want something, sometimes it requires, well, 2, 3, 5, attempts to achieve that desired result and goal of yours. But of course, again, I can't really speak for everybody for that matter. But if you feel like that, saying, no, I tried something and I just cannot, keep, repeating this, just like the Sisyphus effect, where you're pretty much trying to, roll this rock up a hill, and no matter how close you get to the top, something just causes you to just roll back downward. And you've done this so many countless times where you just think, nope, can't deal with this anymore. I'm just going to try something different. Again, 100% your prerogative in any way. So I know all too well about these types of setbacks in many ways. Well, let's look at current times. Because you do start off with 4 of Pentacles reversed, feeling a bit imbalanced and a bit unstable. Queen of Pentacles reversed, and then you get the 8 of Swords. Okay. Yeah, I can understand how this is kind of like the morning phase, and not evening morning, but, the morning of actually, overcoming some kind of grief phase, in current times, because feeling a bit imbalanced and unstable with the 4 of Pentacles, of thinking, well, I don't know how to get out of this current situation, because when you're in the phase when you've dealt with any kind of like setback, disappointment, anything, any kind of negative experience, in current times it could still be resonating, because if you haven't healed entirely from this whole experience and stuff like that, it could keep you in a real stuck and confined space where you pretty much just feel directionless, blind, and you think, I don't know how to get out of this situation. Again, I know this combination all too well, but usually there is a good reason and motivation to get you out of this metaphorical slump in any way, or it doesn't per se have to even be metaphorical for that matter, but in any way, if you feel like, why do I bother, if it's like, these, traditional stories of breakups, especially breakups, where you see, the boy or girl, sleeping in their bed the next day after the breakup, and then, their parents come in and say, oh, honey, are you okay? And then they're just saying, just leave me alone. I need to heal and stuff like that. Yeah, it's important to heal, and sometimes you need to have internal, hermit space of actually just kind of keeping confined within yourself, so you can actually do a lot of healing for that matter. But when we look at the future, you do start off with Judgment reversed. I'm not allowed to show that card. 10 of Pentacles reversed is kind of like, internal problems and stuff like that. But this is also having no confidence within you, because the 10 of Pentacles next to the 10 of Cups and 4 of Wands is like happy home, happy hearth, happy family. But it's also feeling happy home, happy hearth, happy family within your body and your own flesh. Ipso facto, confidence. But then you get a beautiful, one of the most powerful cards in the end, the High Priestess, the Book of Upper Knowledge. This person is like your intuition, your senses, your guide. It could be somebody who who could be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You could have Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio somewhere in your star chart. But this number is pretty much, or this card for that matter, or even number 2 could mean anything to you. But this could be, your sense is pretty much just saying, you know what, we're going to get out of this situation, and we're going to change our fate and dreams and desire. and we're not going to let any kind of negativity regarding the judgment of lack of clarity head out in the clouds, pretty much, just ain't dealing with nothing but problems in the future and stuff like that. But this is where you're actually doing a major turnaround in your fate. Well, let us do some clarification. Regarding the Two of Wands in reverse, you feel like that there's no direction because you got the Nine of Swords. Okay, there was definitely a nightmare and a setback that took place for my beloved Libras. My goodness, I'm so sorry about that in any way. Yeah, I mean, on one side it is in the past, so, hopefully it's not resonating in current times. I mean, of course, with these clarification cards, we're still not out of the woods just yet. But on one aspect, okay, hopefully the worst is over. I'm not saying, that it's never going to be resonating. This could also be, some kind of trauma of some kind, that could have also still be contributing in current times regarding even the Eight of Swords. But yet, okay, I can understand how something kept you back because of some kind of nightmare situation that more or less, okay, saying, okay, we're not going to deal with this. And it could also be how, and not feeling entirely confident and prepared about any kind of voyage or quest or something also led to this nightmare situation as well. Because regarding the Five of Swords reversed, that you've somehow been defeated, you do get the Five of Swords upright. So the thing is, maybe you feel like you're internally defeated about some kind of quest or voyage that just did not go through for you in any way. However, you still always had this fight within you of overcoming any kind of obstacles or battles in the past. So just because something may not have worked immediately, like hypothetically, if you, failed some kind of test or exam and stuff like that. This is the failed test and exam, but this is you actually, saying, what, we're gonna redo it and we're gonna do it, better this time and stuff like that, because you do get a wonderful, powerful card as a High Priestess of the Book of Knowledge and Experience in the future as well. Because regarding the Eight of Pentacles reversed, you get Knight of Grail. So there's obviously some kind of fulfillment, even though what I'm mostly sensing here is, this is like the healing phase. It's like, there could be maybe no movement, no reason, no development, no creation of any kind. But yet you're kind of in a serene just like with the Temperance, this is kind of like a serene card because this is the general card. You could still be in a very beautiful, fulfilled position despite maybe, it's like this was only just a minor setback. Hopefully it was only just a minor. I'm never going to downplay anybody's sorrows and frustrations in any way. However, the fact is that you're still remaining hopeful despite this, nightmare setback that, took place in the past. And I think that is remarkable no matter what. And I just want you to keep, use your intellect and your skills to actually redo it all. And next time, everything should probably work out way better. And just, learn from your mistakes, just like with the High Priestess with the Experience card in the future. Because despite feeling a bit imbalanced and regarding the Four of Pentacles reversed, you get Fortune. Now that's what I like to see is, it's like, even though it may not seem like you're dealing with actual fortune, you could be dealing with actual fortune, but this is where luck is finally actually, turning around for you in your favor, for my beloved male, females, Libras in this world, and that's what I like to see. So the thing is this is actually what you probably hope, dream, and desire maybe, but it could also mean, that luck is finally just saying, Libra is incredibly strong and powerful and stuff like that. This is where you've already, proven how much of a fight you're putting up, despite any kind of nightmare situation. And this is where you actually, hopefully, all of your hard work is going to be rewarded with the, Fortune card in current times. Amazing. Wonderful. Because despite the Queen of Pentacles reverse, you do get the Two of Pentacles. So the thing is, you may not, will be entirely in a confident, grounded, balanced, mindset, but you're actually improving a lot with the Two of Pentacles by balancing many different types of responsibilities and obligations in current times. Because, you have this wonderful, beautiful, ambitious, goal-oriented fortune and luck card on your side. And that's what's also contributing to you actually getting out and actually wanting to improve and redo anything it takes to be able to, get rid of all that nightmare situation in the past. Because regarding the Eight of Swords, you get the Daughter of Grail. So this is another hope card. And this is where your daydream is more or less going to be offering, you some clarity and some intuition regarding, this beautiful card in the future. Because this is Yeah, this is you actually saying, okay, right now, well, we may not have everything that we want, need, and desire and stuff like that. And maybe, a luck may not always be on our side, but as long as we remain incredibly hopeful, despite feeling, well, maybe directionless, maybe feeling stuck, maybe just feeling kind of like, well, why do I even do this in the first place? Because this beautiful Page of Cups, it's a bit of an illusion, but in this situation, I see it as a beautiful dream or a daydream or some kind of idea child that's going to be helping you, with, your beautiful experiences on what you want, wish, and desire, because, well, you want to be in this beautiful, serene, at peace position, right? Because even though, despite the Judgment reverse card, you get Seven of Wands. Now this is where your beautiful, strong, fiery, passionate strength. I mean, it's not the strength card, but this is where you're actually defending this whole future for yourself. Wonderful. I knew you always had strength within you, my beloved Libras. I know there's a lot of, lawyers and judges, or even anybody who wants to have justice and equality, that work in this very strong, powerful defending position. You can be a defense attorney or something. But either way, I just know that, this is where you're pretty much just saying, okay, I want to get out of this, misty road. How am I going to get this by, by showing how strong and capable I am with the Seven of Wands, of wanting to protect this beautiful idea child, this daydream of mine. And that's what's more or less came after this, this is you protecting this whole beautiful idea, dream, vision of yours in the future as well. Please do not give up, my beloved Libras. Because despite the Ten of Pentacles reversed, you're going to be manifesting something in the future. My goodness. Yes. So the thing is, this could also be maybe lack of resources again, but the fact is that, your beautiful strength, of wanting to manifest something, to create something, to want to bring forth this beautiful vision, daydream, idea, whatever it could have been. And this is where you're actually now putting in more time and effort into it. Because regarding the High Priestess in the future, you get Ace of Pentacles. This is a new beginning, a new financial offering, or maybe abundance or money for my beloved Libras, man or woman. So this is what I actually see in your future. Whoops. Is that, hard work is definitely going to be paid off, because this is where you're actually, just, having a major turnaround. This is where you're actually going to be creating something. So, hypothetically, if you've suffered some real grand loss of whatever it could have been, and I can understand any kind of grand loss for that matter, but this is where you're actually redoing it all, even though you may not have the confidence or motivation as of yet regarding the Ten of Pentacles reverse, but I do see you actually want to create something, and this is where hard work is definitely going to be paid off, and your beautiful senses, intuition, your everything about you, this is where your experience is pretty much just saying, okay, how are we going to do it better in the future? And that's what I see you doing. Yes, it started off in a negative manner in the past, or even the first, reading especially, but yet, with the clarification, that's offering a different angle of just saying, you know what, everything is going to work out just fine no matter what. Hard work will pay off for my beloved Libras. Special Vampire card. Hermit, exactly. Because speak of the Hermit is more or less just telling you to have to go a bit in, to go within, in the sense of actually thinking, okay, you're in the process of healing, you're actually, balancing many types of motivation and inspiration regarding the Two of Pentacles. You have to do all kinds of responsibilities and stuff like that, because you're heading down towards this daydream. So this is where you actually have to now start drawing out some kind of outline of whatever you want, wish, and dream and desire, and to make sure that it's all going to work out. And this is where you're probably hitting the books again. Also, you can redo that one failed attempt exam so you can improve it for the future, or any kind of loss, that if you felt like that you weren't entirely prepared in the past, this time you will definitely be prepared. And so then everything is just going to work out in your favor for my beloved, wonderful Justice cards. What does Oracle have? Reason, listen to advice, think clearly, and intellect. Now, I know how intelligent and intellectual my beloved Libras are in this world, so I would just definitely listen to reason, your friends, your family, especially your own intuition, your own senses to say, what do you want to dream, wish, and desire in this world, and eventually you will get what you want. It could also still be fortune, that you could be getting in the world, or you can get any kind of daydream that you're more or less heading towards and stuff like that. But that's what I see for my beloved Libras, is and just, listen to advice, use your own intuition, and think clearly on what you want, wish, dream, and desire, and then everything should just work out for, in your beautiful favor. Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to finish off with 3 yes or no cards. Please feel free to pause this video and think about the questions you want to answer, because for number 1, you get a no card with the 7 of Swords. Yes card with the second 10 of Pentacles. And a yes with the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, well, you get 1 no and 2 yeses in this reading. Well, my beautiful, amazing Libras, I'm going to have to leave it at this, but if this reading resonated, please feel free to join and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for your love and devotion towards my channel. Myself, I love you guys incredibly. In a few days, I'm going to go back to love readings, so for now, I'm just doing general and love, but I'm also open for personal readings. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel, post in the little discussion box below that you want a personal reading, then I'll respond to you with my email, and I'll start the process from there. But otherwise, thank you so much for your love and devotion towards my channel and myself. I love you guys incredibly.